Hey guys, Victoria here and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. Today we're going to jump straight into the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, and this is mostly a teaser trailer. There was a lot of hype surrounding it and I want to thank those guys. I'm probably going to put like a screenshot of their tweet or maybe put the video in here too, just to show you guys how they got Tom Holland's attention and he spoke to Sony and they decided to release the teaser trailer today. So I am a little late just because I've been at work, which, you know, old news, new day. I'm anticipating for the trailer to be good. I do like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, so I do hope it goes well. But more importantly, guys, you know in some of my videos, I've talked about Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal is in this movie. Jake Gyllenhaal is in this movie. No. I can't wait to see what he looks like in this movie, and he's usually just amazing in everything. Like I said, whenever I list off some of my favorite actors, Jake Gyllenhaal is always in the top 5. So, I don't know. I'm hoping for some great things in here with this trailer, and I don't know, we'll see what Sony has for round 2. Oh yeah, guys, and this is just a spoiler warning. If you don't want to know what happens with Spider-Man, regardless, because you're waiting to see Endgame first, then maybe don't watch the teaser trailer until you see Avengers Endgame in April. But yeah, at the end of the video, I am going to talk about what this means for Spider-Man and how, just as an audience, seeing the trailer kind of may ruin the illusion of how Avengers Infinity War ended and stuff like that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this one.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
That was so good. Hey, sorry I'm late. Happy.
You look nice.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. New dress?
Yes, it is. How'd you know?
What just happened?
Oh God.
Planning a trip?
Mm-hmm. Going to Europe. School trip.
Did you get your passport?
Peter Parker here to pick up a passport, please.
Mini toothpaste?
Mm-hmm.
Pack your suit.
I just want to go on my trip with my friends. Europe doesn't really need a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You look really pretty.
Therefore, I have value.
No, that's not right.
I'm messing with you. You look pretty too.
I just want to spend some time with MJ. I think she really likes me, dude.
That reminds me when I first fell in love. I had just finished my food coffee.
Whoa.
So nice to finally meet you, Spider-Man.
Oh my God.
You're Nick Fury.
Put some clothes on. Let's go for a ride.
Is he gonna be okay like that?
Might want to turn him over so he doesn't swallow his tongue.
I think Nick Fury just hijacked our summer vacation.
Awesome!
I almost forgot about
You got
them.
gifts, Parker, but you have a job to do. Are you going to step up or not? You're all alone. Your friends are in trouble. What are you going to do about it?
You don't want any part of this.
Who is that guy?
He's like Iron Man and Thor rolled into one.
He's no Spider-Man.
What is it with you and Spider-Man?
What, he looks out for the neighborhood, has a dope suit, and I really respect him. What's up, dickwad?
Okay guys, let's talk about it. Okay, of course, not surprised. It was a nicely cut trailer. They did kind of give you a little bit, but I don't think it was too much. So who knows, like I know they always release trailer 1, trailer 2, trailer 3, kind of things like that. So it is just a teaser trailer, so I am trying to debate right now when the big boy trailer comes out. Am I going to do a reaction for it for the channel, or am I not going to watch it at all? Things like that. Just because going into this year, I'm trying to do better at keeping some things a surprise for myself, which it is kind of hard when I do reactions for the channel. But I don't know, sometimes you guys know how it is. That second and third trailer, they give you way too much of the movie in some cases. So I don't know, that's up for debate in the future. But first off, Jake Gyllenhaal, guys, oh my God. He looks so good in that suit. He's just so amazing, and there's no debate about it. So yeah, he looks really good as Mysterio. Like I did talk about on the channel how Jake Gyllenhaal will be portraying him, and this is one of the best things in the entire world. He looks really good, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I believe that's Mysterio battling Hydro Man. I did talk about Hydro Man in another video as well. And I don't know, it's pretty awesome because I didn't expect that those two would be fighting each other. Of course they're villains, but I don't know why I thought Hydro Man was only attacking Peter Parker, and I don't know, I thought Mysterio was going to have his own hand in destroying Peter or Spider-Man, which obviously things like that are going to develop and happen, and who knows, we can't trust that. Eventually, Hydro Man and Mysterio will be on the same team. Let's talk about that Nick Fury Easter egg. I really do, I knew that Nick Fury and Maria Hill were going to be in this movie just because of set photos and things like that, but the way they introduced him was really awesome, and I didn't know who shot him in the neck with the darts, but I was like, that doesn't seem like Mysterio's style, but I really like that. That was fun. I like that he's kind of like, I don't know, our Spider-Man is all grown up. He's a big boy now. Now he doesn't need Tony Stark to fly in and save him. Like, he's off on his trip. He's trying to live his best life while he has some time just to live his best normal life, whatever that is to him. And you have Nick Fury coming straight to him for a task for him to complete while he's away in Europe. So that's pretty awesome to me. I do wonder exactly what they're there for and what they're going to have to be up against. The whole thing with Happy and Aunt May. Spoilers. I mean, if you guys have not seen Spider-Man Far From Home, I'll give you 2 seconds. Spider-Man Homecoming. So at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, Aunt May does indeed find out that Peter is Spider-Man. And we didn't know how they were going to do it or if they were going to do it, and I like that they did. Just because in some of the Spider-Man movies that we had beforehand, with the original Spider-Man trilogy, Aunt May kind of knew, and maybe you just kind of didn't know. It was very ambiguous. It's like, oh, it seems like she does know he's Spider-Man. Maybe she doesn't. Oh wait, no, she does. And this one we know for sure that she knows that Peter is Spider-Man. And I like that she's introducing him to introducing him to people, and just kind of being by his side, like someone that he can definitely trust and talk to. I do wonder how this is going to affect Aunt May as a character, because, you know, we always know Aunt May always gets kidnapped just because she doesn't know why, but everyone always finds out that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and she's always getting kidnapped and things like that. And also you typically have Mary Jane, who always gets kidnapped as well. Obviously we have MJ in here, Michelle. So obviously that's going to be happening to her just a tad bit, but I do like that she is that person that he is going to eventually fall in love with and things like that, but she does have a mind of her own. And I kind of like that version of Mary Jane. We kind of got to see a little bit of that in the recent Spider-Man PS4 game, where she's just kind of doing her own thing. She still needs Peter here and there, but she likes to go in and also help out. But going back to Aunt May, that whole thing with her and Happy was weird. It was very weird. It's very weird, but I think that's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And I like that Peter didn't really have like any like serious issues with it. I just thought it was all funny. And just a little small thing too, like I like how instead of going to like these huge stores to get everything he needs for the trip, I like that he stops by his local store where he gets his sandwich and gets his travel-sized toothpaste and toothbrush. I thought that was a nice little touch as to how Spider-Man is and the way he lives, and the way he just chooses to carry on his life while he lives in Queens. Of course, we have Ned back. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with them and their friendship. I would hate to see the day that those two have a falling out or one of them lies to the other. That's going to be interesting to see if something like that does happen. And let's see, I might try to skim through the trailer really quick to see if I missed anything else. Okay, so I skimmed through and I paused a little bit, so I'll try to bring up some screenshots as I talk to you guys. Hydro Man and Mysterio weren't the only villains in the trailer. We have somebody that may kind of look like Molten Man. It could be anybody, it could be anything. It could literally be something weird happening to Sandman, but it kind of looks like it could be Molten Man, and Molten Man I don't know. I mean, I wonder what his stake is going to be in all of this if he is just showing up to Europe just messing shit up. So I do wonder what that's all about. Of course, we did get a shot of what looks like it could be Sandman. Maria Hill and Nick Fury are shooting at Sandman, trying to take him down. And then another Easter egg. I don't know how this turned into an Easter egg video, but I figured I could just talk about it a little more. If you pause right on Peter's passport, you can see that his birthday is August 10th, which is the birthday of Spider-Man, when Spider-Man first debuted as a comic book back in August 10th, 1962. And I don't remember what issue it was. I think it was issue 15. Issue 15, Amazing Fantasy or something like that. I don't remember, so I could be wrong, but like I said, we're gonna say I'm right on this one. And then the other thing, if you do pause, you can see Uncle Ben, that Peter's using Uncle Ben's suitcase. And that's a very nice touch without us getting back into the, with great power comes great responsibility and all the, you know, very cliche Uncle Ben flashbacks that we typically got with the first trilogy of Spider-Man and then the second duo movie of Spider-Man. We kind of get that whole thing with Uncle Ben. So I like that you still have that hint of nostalgia and that he's able to remember the past without it being this whole thing with the audience. You know what I mean? Like Peter's at a point now where it's been a little time, not that he's just gonna forget Uncle Ben, but it's been a little time and he's able to like take that suitcase with him just as a reminder to have a little piece of him with him while he travels. And then the final like kind of thing I want to talk about that I noticed in the trailer was the Spider-Man theme song. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Well, you know how it goes. I don't think I want to sing the rest. It was nice. It was like kind of sprinkled throughout and it was very subtle at first. And then at the end, they just kicked it up into high gear and they were like, okay, we're gonna put it up there as soon as it says Spider-Man Far From Home. What does this mean for Avengers Endgame? A lot of people have been saying that you don't see Tony Stark, you see Happy kind of carrying things on. But technically that's kind of what Happy was doing anyway, even in Spider-Man Homecoming. So I don't want to assume, and that's probably me being very biased, I don't want to assume that Tony Stark died, that Iron Man took a hard fall and never got back up. I don't want to think that that's exactly what happened. I think that he trusts Happy enough to let him take on some things like that in regard to being very involved with Peter. I definitely see that. Plus, I almost feel like Peter would kind of feel a little, he would have not some kind of animosity, but he wouldn't have like this huge closeness to Happy if he was still grieving over Mr. Stark. But I really feel like the reason that Happy's just going overboard and doing a lot of things is because he's trying to court Aunt May. So I don't think Tony's dead, but then again, that's just me being biased because I love Tony Stark and I love Iron Man. But I don't know, we'll have to wait and see what happens exactly in April. And as you guys know, this movie doesn't come out until July of this year. So that does, like I said, raise those questions of, you know, we know Peter's not dead. And so did that take that away from you? Like when you saw Peter have this very emotional moment with Tony Stark and just kind of disintegrate into dust, ash, whatever, did that take away that moment for you when you knew Spider-Man Homecoming was coming out and that he was fine? Because you know that this movie takes place after Avengers Endgame. So it's kind of like, okay, well, I guess they're all coming back. And so it's just like, well, then what was the point? I still like that they were able to go there with that. And to me, it doesn't take that away from what happened. It just shows that anything can happen to these characters. They aren't made of steel. Though some of them may be brought back, some may not. Some might make it, some might not. It doesn't take that away from me personally. But I don't know, how do you guys feel about that? Because I know this was a huge thing, and I know Kevin Feige and everyone over at Marvel Studios tried their best to keep everything under wraps and kind of keep things a secret. And even the Russo brothers going as far as to keep the title of the movie under wraps for a very long time. Just so that way we weren't super spoiled. Though we knew, like I said, Spider-Man Far From Home was coming out, they didn't give us way too much, because then there was a point of, oh, this has happened before Infinity War, and maybe him getting on the bus is, I don't, you know, him coming back from the trip. I don't know, there were all these theories out there about where Far From Home lands, or where you can place it in the current MCU timeline. I'm excited for this movie because of many things. I'm interested to see how everyone else reacts to a second Spider-Man movie. I do like that Sony is trying new things and that they're really partnering up with Marvel just to kind of get some new characters in there. I don't know, I just hope that this one does very well and that it's not rushed, nothing's forced, and that is very enjoyable coming off the high of Avengers Endgame. But yeah, guys, what do you think about this trailer? Did you enjoy it? Did you dislike it? Just let me know down in the comments. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get more videos, breakdowns of teaser trailers, and comic book videos like this one. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!